in a small place called Ballysmarigeth, which I'm sure you won't have heard of. It's about 2 days' walk from Dublin, which is the biggest city in Ireland, which I suppose you might know. Ballysmarigeth, what a lot of letters. It means Place of Emerald. And I'm sure it was so green that St. Patrick himself was once said to have been struck almost blind with the beauty of it. I don't know why any saint would have come to our village at all. The last time I remember everything was completely normal was a day off from school. Maybe it was a Sunday. I don't know. Ballysmarigeth was so small we didn't even have a church, so didn't go. I think Ma believed in God, but she didn't make a fuss about it. That day I was wandering through the woods. I used to spend hours among the trees by myself, but I never got lost.
Look for the moss, Dad taught me. It's a natural navigator. Find a bit of tree not too near the ground. If there's moss growing, it'll be on the north side of the trunk. Moss needs moisture, and it'll grow there because it's in the shade in the middle part of the day when the sun is doing most of its drying.
It was the 3rd of July, 1845, the day before my birthday. I was 10, nearly 11, when my story begins. I was probably wearing a pair of my brother's old trousers and certainly no shoes. In fact, I never had a pair of shoes at all until much later. We were poor, but it didn't feel like it. With my short hair and trousers, I must have looked like a boy. I was happy in the woods. The woodland went on for miles. Great oak trees made a canopy of green, but there was also crab-apple trees, wild privet, and little Irish whitebeams covered in a fine mist of white flowers in the spring and small red berries in the autumn. I loved the place. Ma was good with nature too. She taught me about the delicious mushrooms you could eat for free, and how to look carefully at everything that was growing. Look closely and you will see great wonders. See this? She picked up a green plant with rounded leaves and little pink flowers. They call it Enchanter's Nightshade. Isn't that a beautiful name? Now, most people will tell you it's a sort of weed, but even if it is, I think it's lovely. If you look carefully, you can see it has delicate little downy hairs all over the stems. I looked at the fine, soft covering on its stem. Look for beauty, Slim, and you will find it, she advised. No matter what the season, the woods seemed to be alive with colour. The richness of the early purple orchid, the tiny shaft of sun from the yellow pimpernel, and the red of the wild strawberry.
Who needs great museums and galleries of art when we have this?
Dad would say as he picked bluebells to take home for Ma. Anyway, this last normal day I was in one of Dad's old shirts with the sleeves rolled up. I'd been fishing in the stream. I wasn't supposed to. Beatrice said it wasn't right for any girl my age to still enjoy such nonsense. She wanted me home, in the house, but I could never settle to sewing or cooking like my big sister Beatrice. I liked outdoor things. I'd caught a little brown trout and was feeling very pleased with myself. Ma might well be cross about me going fishing, but she would appreciate the fish. We never had a great deal to eat, and a trout would be welcome. I walked along carrying my fish on the end of the long stick I'd been using as my fishing pole, and no doubt whistling, which I was not supposed to do either. I had played in these woods all my life, so I think I was surprised to come across a turning through the trees that I didn't recall taking before. I had only walked for a few moments when the woodland seemed to give up, and I came out into a clearing. I looked up and saw the grandest house you could ever imagine. It was a great square place, the size of a castle. It stood on a small hill with lawns the size of fields rolling up in waves towards it. The late afternoon sun was shining on the windows. I had never seen so much glass. We didn't have any windows at all in our little stone house. To my young eyes, this magnificent place seemed to have hundreds. The light glinted back at me, bouncing off the shiny surfaces, as if the place were on fire. It was beautiful. 3 long